What's going on, fellow growers? Andrew and Kim from Tailwagon Farms. On our way to the post office right now to go pick up our bees. It's a very exciting day. So stick around and watch us install them into their new home, the hive up in the cut flower area. Bees are safely secured in the back seat, and we're on our way home. So once this little bit of drizzle passes, we'll get them installed out in the backyard. So we're out in the bee yard now, and got all my tools gathered up, stuff that I'll be using today. Got two different types of hive tools. We got the J1 and the standard hive tool. Got our hive, got our entrance reducer, smoker, some bee food, some fuel for the smoker. Got my suit and my gloves. And Kim is over there off camera. She's already fully dressed. She is so excited for this. And I got my bee brush too. So first things first, I'm gonna light the smoker and just get a little bit of smoke in the air. With packaged bees, we don't wanna really smoke them too much because we want them to be able to smell the queen's pheromones. And we're trying to get them all to get to know each other. So in order to light the smoker, what we do, the little plate at the bottom that allows airflow. There's a little vent at the bottom that this blower will actually blow air into to keep it lit. I like to take some shipping paper, newspaper, whatever you got. Kind of crunch it up. You don't want it super tightly packed because then that causes not enough air to be in there to really get a good burn. I start off with this in there. Just as a precursor, make sure you have a place to set this down because this will get hot. So you don't want to be setting on long dry grass, things like that, because you don't want to set your yard on fire. So we have some stones over there that I'll set it on, or I could set it on this wood for a little bit. Just being mindful to move it every so often just so it doesn't burn the wood too bad. Got a long handled lighter, gonna stick it down as far as we can in there. Start getting it lit. All right, so we wanna get it to start burning just a little bit. Get some good ignition. Couple little pumps, you don't have to get too crazy with it. Once we get some heat going, then you can use dried grass, shredded cardboard is what we have on hand. I personally like pine needles. They smell amazing, but these are free. We shred all of our cardboard boxes from Amazon and stuff. So I'm gonna start just putting a little bit in, getting it in there. Couple of pumps. Let it get a good burn going here. We've got a lot of wind out here today, so it's really starting to throw the smoke. You can hear it. You can hear it sucking air and burning, so. Gonna add another handful of cardboard. Take your hive tool, start pushing it down now. A couple more little pumps. Put a little more in there. This takes a couple of minutes. You gotta let it get burning a little bit. And just, there you go, keep adding a little air. And we're not gonna have to go crazy today since this isn't really gonna take very long and we're not gonna be really smoking the bees too much. So, got that going there. A couple of good pumps. Get it putting out some real good smoke. I found if you kind of pack it down, once you get it burning good, that'll just kind of give it a consistent amount of smoke. It's not gonna really be pumping smoke out, and you won't really have to add fuel as much. So there we go. Pop the lid on. Next step will be I'm gonna get the bees, bring them over, and throw my suit on. All right, we have our bees. You can set them right here for us. So this is what a 3-pound package of bees looks like. Inside this there's a silver can that has some food in it for the bees. The bees are all clustered around the queen, who is in a little cage that's right here. It's attached to that black right there. There's a couple of dead bees on the bottom, which is unfortunate but expected. Yeah, we'll be getting them out of here and putting them in the hive in a second. So I'm keeping the smoker a little bit away from us right now. The bees, they were kind of getting agitated by the smoke a little bit. I do want the smoker to be lit just in case they get a little spicy on us. That way we can calm them down, kind of blocks the alert pheromones that they release. So I'm gonna get suited up before we pop these guys open. And as you can see, Kim is already in her new suit. So I had to remove my jacket because it wasn't really fitting underneath my suit too well. The Ultra Breeze is really nice in the summertime because it allows airflow through. It's a little chilly out here today, so I'm gonna be a little chilly, but gotta wear the jacket to protect from some stings. So the important thing to remember when you got your bee suit is to make sure you know how to close this enclosure right here properly. So this suit has a zipper that goes all the way up on the inside. And then there is a Velcro inside of here that once the zipper is all the way up, it closes that gap right here. Then there's another Velcro patch that goes over that. So we want to close our zippers all the way closed and then press down to make sure that Velcro is sealed. I like to pick this up and kind of peek and look and make sure there's no gap there. I had a bee go through that gap once and it stung me in the face, and that did not feel good, trying to get the suit off with a angry bee flying around inside. So I got some gloves that I will be putting on as well. One thing I forgot to mention about suiting up is make sure your socks or your pants are tucked into your socks or into your boots, because they have a tendency to find ways to come fly up your pant legs. I've had that happen before. So I usually just super stylish or tuck my pants into my socks and then into the boots. That way they just can't sting me in the ankles. So I'm all suited up and ready to go here. Kim is all suited up, just double checking hers. Looks like she's all sealed up. So first things first, we need to pop this lid off right here. So we're gonna take this, just kind of gently start prying, trying not to knock the queen cage off. There goes one. Okay, got that off. Gonna set it off to the side. Now we got to get this can out. To do this, I'm just gonna tap the bees down real quick. Get most of them down out of the way. We're gonna start getting this can out. Come on, can. There we go. So once I get it started moving, we're gonna take our piece again, go vertical, lift the can up, and as it comes out, come on. Okay. And we're gonna scrape off any bees if we can and cover them up. So they are drinking out of the can. All right, so that's our first step. Got that. Now we're gonna open up the hive. Take this, flip it open. Yeah, so take the inner cover and just kind of set it on a little bit of an angle. Yep.
Like that.
There we go. That's just a good habit to get into because once there's propolis involved, you don't want things fitting together nicely because it's really hard to get off. We're gonna pull out a couple of frames. Right now there's nothing really holding them in, but you can practice using your hive tool. We're gonna get a couple of them out of the way, and it's gonna clear a space in the middle for where we're gonna dump all of these bees. The next step is getting the queen out. So in order to do that, she's in a little cage that's held on by this little piece of plastic right here. So queen cage is now loose. So what we're gonna do, move this over, and we're gonna pull her out. As you can see, all the bees are on it right now. So we just kind of shake them off into there. As the queen is in here with some attendant bees. And there's a little piece of cork on the end and a candy. So the bees are gonna eat through the candy to release the queen. In this way, they can get adapted to her scent. So we're gonna pull this cork out. I have a tiny little push pin here that I brought out to do this with. So we have a little piece of cork. Now the candy has been exposed, and we're gonna find a frame to put her on. Now what I wanna do is make it so that it's hanging so it's on a diagonal. I don't want it hanging straight up and down in case one of the attendant bees dies. You don't want to trap her in. So get her in there. Got a push pin in, so it's holding the queen. She's on an angle. We're gonna use another frame to kind of close the gap a little bit so that they can see her and get to her. So I got the queen hanging. I'll give you a close-up. We have the queen cage so that they got access to her. Got a push pin holding it in. That's kind of keeping a little bit of space so the bees can still get to her. And we'll probably just go with 9 frames for now in here instead of the 10. Next step is getting all of these bees into here. To do this, we're gonna make a gap in here where we're gonna dump some bees. This is where things get kind of crazy and get a little bit hectic. There's gonna be a lot of bees flying around. So we're gonna take this, just knock them all down, pull this off, and dump bees. So just kind of go back and forth and dump our bees. So there's still a bunch sitting on here. So what we're gonna do is kind of flip it over, make sure there's no bees underneath. Just give it a couple of really good taps and get them all to one side. And dump more bees. Okay, we got most of them out. So we're gonna set this off to the side. You wanna set it just right in front of the hive on its side. Are they bugging you a lot?
No, not really.
There we go.
Gross.
So we got that. Our queen is in the middle, and they're all gonna congregate around the queen. That's where they wanna be. So just gotta kind of gently put our frames in because we got a ball of bees on the bottom there. As you can see, we got bees on the bottom, bees on the top. Kim's gonna now grab the couple more frames and just gently put them in.
Not ladies.
think we could fit that 10th frame in there too.
Probably. Watch out, Bill. Smishing, buddy.
And now Kim is gonna make a slight gap, a little bit bigger gap where the queen cage is. So just a little bit. Go about half that, I would say. We want, yeah, there we go. Right there. That looks good. Now the next step that we're gonna do is, actually we're gonna put on the entrance reducer. So what this does is reduce the size of the opening that they can come in and out of, so it's easier for them to defend. So just gonna gently slide it in here. Look out, bees. Sorry, guys. Excuse me. Oh no, don't get crushed. Okay. So they now have a small entrance over here. And Kim's gonna add the top cover on. So just kind of gently put it on, and then I like to set it down and kind of twist it in place. There you go. Everybody's lined up, looking good. So what we're gonna be feeding them is some sugar fondant that I made earlier. It's not like Cake Wars stuff. This is just sugar and water and a little bit of lemon juice. Our little plastic baggie just broke, but we're gonna take this and they are gonna be really excited once they get a taste of this. Okay. Pretty much becomes a nice big sugar block. So we're gonna set this down right here. I'm gonna get this little bee here and gonna place him right on the, there we go. And we're gonna use a couple of paint stir sticks to just raise the inner cover up just a hair. They're already starting to eat it. They are so excited about this sugar. So we're gonna just use a couple of these just to make it a little bigger gap on the top. Next step is just gonna be putting the top cover on. So just be careful of the paint sticks as you do it. And we'll be back in a couple of days to check on these guys. So you might be asking, when am I gonna check on these bees again? So we're gonna go back in probably 4 days to double check and make sure that the queen has got let out of her cage. If not, at that point, we'll manually release her into the hive. And yeah, the key with bees in the beginning is just pretty much leave them alone. Gonna probably check the food in 48 hours, make sure that they're eating, but that's not even really a hive inspection. That's just popping off the top real quick to look underneath on that top board. The bees seem to be settling in nicely. They've found their entrance already, and they're gonna do some orientation flights and fly around the area and just get a lay of the land and see where some food is and water, most importantly, water sources. But they seem pretty happy. They've been pretty mellow. They've been checking us out, but none have really acted aggressive. So how about you? Anybody bothering you at all?
No, they're pretty good.
So, well, thank you for coming out to Tail Wagging Farms today. Hope you enjoyed this as much as we did. As Kim was saying, I didn't realize how much we missed having bees until we had them again. Just watching them fly around and seeing them do their little bee antics. So, if you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe, and leave some comments if you're looking to get bees or if you found this interesting. So, have a good day, happy growing, and buzz off.